Hello, my name is Arden Rose, and I paint in the French Impressionist style. Although I've been influenced by Monet, Renoir, Pissarro, Mary Cassatt, and of course my hero Van Gogh, and the Spanish artist Sorolla, my style is slightly different. It is more vibrant and it is more clear. So for those of you who are not familiar with French Impressionism, it is the technique of using all small brush strokes, and I even paint with all small brushes, in order to show the color harmony and the light in everything I paint. This is Monet's Gardens. The name of the painting is The Artist's Path. I painted there because I was invited by French government to exhibit in Paris many times, and also to paint with French television in the gardens. The other key to French Impressionism is bringing up the colors in the rest of the canvas into the sky to make everything harmonize. So I love the feeling of the gardens. It was very peaceful, as if he were sitting right there in the late 1800s. And I love the colors, the spirituality of being in the garden, everything about it. I painted there many times. This painting is called Central Park in Winter. It is the ice pond in Central Park. And I love this painting because, for me, I remember the cold, crisp ice pond. And in the background is the Dakota buildings, where John Lennon lived. So, this was too cold outside to paint, and I photographed it, and then painted in my studio from one of my photographs. Again, my style is looking through something out at something else to give it depth. This painting is called Shelter Island Architecture. It is a beautiful island of Shelter Island in the Hamptons in November. And I love the fall crisp colors, the New England architecture, and the whole feeling of the place. It's a very peaceful island. And I loved painting there. So even though I was freezing and it was November, I toured around and took photographs and then painted it later. Now we have Dusk in Monterey. This painting I decided to do when I was taking a walk in dusk in Monterey, in the harbor. There's the old buildings in Cannery Row in Monterey, California, and it was a very misty day when the sun was setting, and I thought it was just lovely, so I photographed it and then painted it in my studio. Again, sometimes I paint in my studio, the larger canvases, and sometimes I paint outside. This one is Dusk in Monterey with the pelicans. And this painting is called Amsterdam in Summer. I love the old canals in Amsterdam, the beautiful peniches, the boats that flow down the canals. And I loved going to the Reich Museum and the Van Gogh Museum. An art dealer from Paris invited me to fly up for the day, and we had a wonderful time seeing both museums. And then I photographed to do this painting. This painting is St. Bartholomew, French West Indies. It is better known as St. Bart's. I had the honor of being a guest of the French government there for 22 winters and had my own art studio. I loved the Swedish architecture in the buildings there. Originally, Sweden owned St. Bart's, and then it was purchased by the French. So there is this original Swedish architecture. So it is View Down the Clock Tower Steps is the name of the painting, and I was sitting there with an iguana keeping me company right on the right, because I was on its territory through the whole painting. Anyway, and there's the beautiful ocean in the background. This is one of my favorite islands, Curacao, in the Netherlands Antilles. I love the colors of the architecture in the background and the colorful dress of the people. This is a floating market from Venezuela that comes in every day with vegetables and fruit and fish and meat, etc. And this lady I call Fish Market in Curacao because she used to cut fish every day there. And now we're back to St. Bart's. So this is again St. Bart's with it's called Le Petit Casse, and I love the little houses there with the architecture and especially the royal blue ocean and the beautiful flowers on the island. It was a real pleasure to paint there for 22 years. This painting is called Spring Water Lily. Again, it is beautiful Monet's Gardens, Giverny. I love the feeling of the water lilies. Monet painted water lilies straight on, and I like to paint, again, water lilies or anything looking through something out, which are the flowers in the foreground, out at something else, the water lilies. For me, that's important in order to give it depth. I'm not saying I'm better than Monet, I wish I were half as good, but our style is different. And so, again, the flowers and in the foreground and on the sides frame the water lilies. And there are the weeping willows in the background. I love the peaceful feeling of the gardens. It's just as if you lived there. This painting is called Majesty of the Loire. It is very special to me. I spent many wonderful days and hours painting in the Loire Valley. My best friends, Henri Villard and Marion Villard, had an 11th century castle by the river, and I used to paint there and visit with them. Henri Villard was one of France's greatest screenwriters and novelists, and we used to walk by the river when the sun was setting, and then the reflections on the water, which I really love, and fishermen used to fish there at the end of the day. And at the end of his life, Henri became blind, and he is one of the principal characters in a screenplay for feature film about my life story. So this painting is very special to me because he was one of my best friends. This painting is centerpiece to the feature film on my life story, which I was asked to write. This is called Il Adam, Reflections on a Sunday Afternoon, and it is right in the area where Renoir painted the boating party. Renoir painted the boating party in Chateau, which was right around the corner. So this is the old bridge in Ile Adam, and it's where Pissarro painted and several of the famous Impressionists. So I love the reflections on the water and the peacefulness and the French architecture. And so this is centerpiece also, these two paintings, to the feature film on my life story. Charles Champlin, the film critic, encouraged me to document my life story for feature film because he wrote about my paintings. And the film is about a tragedy that took place in my life that I had to deal with and overcome. So it's a triumph over adversity story. And it takes place in Paris and the surroundings, the Loire Valley, and also St. Bart's. So when the film comes out, you will know about it. This is my art studio where I paint my large oil canvases. This is my palette. It is all custom made, and these are my small brushes that I was talking about that I use when I do my oil paintings for Impressionist style, which is my style of painting. All the paintings you saw earlier were oils. So I also paint watercolors in the same style, French Impressionist. However, oils are more like prose. They're textural, they're more in depth. And watercolor is like haiku poetry. It's fast and flowing. And it's just the feeling, the quick feeling of the scene. I do all my watercolors on location. So, to start out, this is Santa Barbara. And the name of the painting is Santa Barbara Harbor. I painted this one when there was a boat race going on, and it was really hilarious sitting there and trying to paint the boats as they were fleeting by or trying to fleet by, and it was a lot of fun. I was sitting on the dolphin bench painting this right by the water. This painting is called Sunset at East Beach, and it is a watercolor that I did on the beach right down the street from where I live. And it was very, very soft day, the sun was setting, and it was really great to have the feeling of the pastel colors and the ocean and the hills in the background. So, Sunset at East Beach. Moving right along, we're back to the island of Curacao, where I showed the oils before. And this is view from the Sea Aquarium, where I was staying. And I love the vibrant colors of Curacao and the aquamarine and royal blue ocean and the whole feeling there of swimming in the ocean. It is right next to the sea aquarium where the dolphins are. This is another painting of Curacao. This is View of Blue Bay Beach. And I love the peacefulness of sitting outside and painting watercolors. This is the house I'd like to live in. It is my dream house. Anyway, again, I love the colors of the royal blue, the aquamarine, the peacefulness. And there's the little seagull sitting there. And 2 years later, when I went back, the same bird was sitting there in the same place. So, that's Curacao, once more. Now that you've had an opportunity to see a small excerpt of my oils and watercolor paintings, if you'd like to know more about my work or purchase any of my paintings, please visit my website, www.ardenrose.com, just like it sounds, ardenrose.com, and you can see more of my work and purchase it if you like, and also see the book about my paintings. This is a coffee table book published in French and English. It is called Arden Rose, The Vision of a Painter. The excerpt, actually the preface is written by André Perrineau, the renowned art critic and art historian in Paris, France. This is a limited edition book, and it shows different comments of people around the world and pictures of my artwork. I have enjoyed making this video for you, and I hope you enjoyed seeing it. So, there will be more in the future. Thank you for now.